Family Slot Car Racing.
Are Billy, Sandy, Alice, and
Cobra.
Jeremiah back?
Wait, what were the names you said again?
Billy,
Okay.
Sally,
I think it's Sandy.
Sandy,
Mommy and Daddy.
Amy, and Jebediah.
Carol and Becker.
The Ricker.
That's right.
You mean Daddy, Mommy, Sarah, and Billy.
All right.
Sarah and Billy.
Sarah and Billy. That doesn't. It's the odd one out. She's the black sheep of the family.
Is it Sarah with an H?
Yep.
Do I ask that every time that we cover one of these?
I don't know. Virtual Console, Revenge of Shinobi for the Genesis, $8. So as I was saying,
Yes.
Splinter Cell Conviction, our wager,
Hot money.
our gentlemanly wager.
I heard from someone else at Ubisoft with regards to your wager.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I guess word got out. There was an article on GameSpot where they talk about the night vision goggles. I'll just read this quote directly. Our session also revealed that Sam's trademark night vision goggles, which have been the iconic imagery of nearly every other game in the series, will not feature prominently in Conviction. Instead, when you're hidden in shadow, a visual filter will help distinguish enemies and interactive objects. That sounds very good to me. That is very much pitching in my favor.
Oh, you think?
And then...
Oh.
The producer hinted that the night vision goggles will make a limited return later in the game, but they will be supplied along with other gadgets by your new network of allies. I'm not going to call that a complete confirmation, because it's the way it's couched in hinted.
Yeah, hinted at and will not feature prominently. Those all sound like that game will have night vision goggles.
It sounds very probable.
That sounds very probable.
It sounds very probable. I'm not going to deny that.
And it sounds like pretty much. Isn't that pretty much exactly? Did I call it? Was that me that called it? Not that it's like not the most obvious thing in the world, but like
you or Vinny may
late
have called
game,
that.
put on goggles, and now it is welcome back, like that type of thing. Like
Yeah. I'm back.
But it won't be with his old team, though. It'll be his new posse.
Or will his old team also defect?
Just be will Lambert just be in charge of the old, like the
whatever
renegades?
I am more than happy to admit that, yes, this
I've got an old friend for you, Sam.
this looks... This looks poor for my end of the wager. However,
You want to up the ante.
however,
Throw something else at me.
No. The way this is going,
Double or nothing.
Yeah. His gun.
I don't like my chances. I will be completely honest with that. But I also want to wait to see it. Sure. I will not go on secondhand information and pre-release nonsense like this.
I'll tell you what.
So you want to wait for the game to actually ship? Would you accept footage of the game? What if you had played the game and seen it for yourself in a pre-release version?
That part might get cut. Before the game comes
exactly.
out.
Like that part might get cut.
No.
Are we going to drag this all the way out until ship date?
Yep.
Okay.
Which at this point is like, what, a year away?
I don't know.
So you're saying
Never.
trailer.
I hear that game is shipping in a double pack with Dead Rising 2.
That's weird.
I know, yeah, weird. Like a Capcom movie coming together.
Desperate times.
Oh, it'd be great if they just scrap the whole Conviction and start over again, and it's just pure Sam Fisher in
really wasn't
goggles.
working out.
That was wrong. We did it the wrong way. Sorry. No, I'm going to wait to see it on a packaged game shelf, playing it on a retail video game system device
box
computer.
Okay. Product.
In this interview, he also says that the software they have been working on for the longest time is the quote. So
The longest time. I hope they can do a thing where the controller is just lights up, and they don't need the ice cream cone, so that it's just like
You talking about the DualShock?
Yeah. So that, like there's something on the controller where like I don't have to have. Where I can be using the controller and move that around, and it's recognizing that on screen, so I'm not using this wand.
Wasn't there a little attachment that you like put on top of the controller, and there was like
the
a little
ball?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that, but that's what this should be something like
Am
that.
I making that up?
I don't know.
Did I
Maybe.
dream that?
I don't know. I didn't see any of that press conference.
Who knows?
They had balls. Sony's got balls.
Balls of steel.
Big glowing balls.
You know who else has balls?
Don't.
Peter Molyneux.
Sure does.
Vinny, have you seen this? Did you see this also?
Peter's
another,
balls? No.
Another big thing from, the
Van
countdown
Halen.
on the Lion's Head site finally counted down. You got to see Peter Molyneux's big, glorious, liver-spotted balls.
Oh, come on.
That was the revolutionary reveal.
But then you really found out they
completely
weren't, and he was just lying about it. I promise my balls.
You're only saying it's not called for because now you have a vivid image of Peter Molyneux's balls.
That's a big part of it, yeah. Thanks.
It's going to change the game industry forever. My balls.
Here's my balls.
My balls.
I'd like to introduce you to my balls.
My balls. Otherwise, you can swing them to the left. They love you. You gotta love my balls.
Ball hangs a little bit lower than my left.
One of my balls could die. It'll never come back.
How you treat my balls will impact the rest of the game world intrinsically.
Moving on. Please move on.
You can shave my balls.
You can tickle them. They love. All right.
I can talk about Peter Molyneux's balls for a long time, but what I'd rather talk about, there's nothing I'd rather talk about right now than Peter Molyneux's balls. But what I will talk about is the announcement of Fable 3 coming.
You don't think? I mean,
Like, not in the least.
they seem to feel like they're bringing like the core SOCOM tenets over to this. I mean,
Like, yes, in that they've got weapon loadouts and that they're going for an air of realism.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that sort of stuff. I mean, you can see the lineage, but just from what I played at E3, like, no. Like, I didn't feel that this played anything like the old SOCOM games. And it's probably because those games were so rooted in... Well, I mean, they were rooted in being third-person games. You could zoom in and get a first-person perspective, but that was not the way that the game was meant to be played. And in addition, just everything about the game, from movement, like just the way that players moved in a SOCOM game, to the fact that it broke a lot of ground on the PlayStation 2, which didn't have a lot of multiplayer experiences like that at all. Like, those are the reasons that like SOCOM was able to develop this massive action fan base. Or math. And
Audie O. Cruz from the Bronx, New York, writes in to ask if you were to give up one of your 5 senses, which one would it be and why?
eyes, because fuck them.
You're already halfway there, so.
Smell.
Well, wouldn't
But
smell...
then taste.
No, you got
taste
to
goes-
because
gotta
taste
smell.
says a separate
Yeah.
smell. It's 5 senses.
No, but
There's-
your sense of taste is
We're not talking.
dependent on
Not
sense of
talking
smell.
scientific here. We're talking like
But-
1 of 5, right?
Yeah.
You can't
I
say
mean,
it's
one of the 5
diminished,
senses.
but you'll still have
Yeah, but
sense
it's very diminished.
Sight, sound,
Yeah.
touch, taste, smell.
Yeah.
Right, but the point is that sense of taste depends on sense
And
of smell.
Then why would they
Atomically,
be... Yeah, scientifically you're right, but it's one of the 5
Okay.
senses.
Yeah. So like if we take that away, I would get rid of
All
smell.
right. Really?
Yeah, I still want to eat.
But then what if there's a gas leak? And you're hanging out and you're going to light a cigarette.
Then I
and-
can't run out the door because I can't see where it is, and I can't hear the car coming as I run out the door because I'm deaf, and then I break my leg, but I didn't feel it because I have no sense of touch.
That's what I'm going with, sense of feel.
Dude, no. Did you ever see those like movies or documentaries about kids that don't have their sense of feel, and it's like the worst life ever? You don't know if you got cut and it's infected 2 days later and have to amputate your leg. It's so bad.
That or I'd be indestructible.
No, it's so bad.
Well, see, but this would be like losing it. It's not like I'm a kid who was born without it. I'm here now.
I know, but like if you were there and I just walked by you and slit your back open, you would never know.
Why would you do that?
Because
What?
you have no sense of touch. I just mess with you.
Well, I'm gonna start like smearing dog shit under your nose then, because you can't smell it. If you're gonna be a dick about it, Jesus Christ!
If I lost my sense of smell, I would smear dog shit under my nose.
It should be a great office if we each just had a sense. Just
all
messing
this-
with people.
Horrible.
Feel would be bad.
It would be terrible. Like think about
Sex
when
would be
you're
a real bummer.
think about when your like foot goes to sleep and you have trouble walking. Now imagine that forever.
You're not aware when you stand up.
It's
But
like you
for
just
me,
could break your
I have
ankle.
trouble walking because I can still sort of feel it.
But like
If it was gone all the way, maybe it wouldn't be a problem.
wouldn't know like when it's on the ground, kind of, and like like
Yeah.
you just snapped your ankle and you're like, oh, wow,
Just keep going because it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
oh, but you're doing terrible things to it.
But you can't feel it, so it's
Oh, but
you
it doesn't
don't get
matter.
this. You don't get this.
No, but everybody watching you was like, oh god, his bone popping out.
laughing. You're like, yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Until you just pass out from blood loss. But didn't feel that because
Right.
Again, I'd be indestructible. You couldn't stop
I'm
me.
going to send you an article.
You couldn't stop me.
I'm sending you some.
I've seen it. I'm just saying.
Oh, I don't know. Bad. All bad.
I'm taking a stand here, Vinny.
We're humans because we have
You picked like the bitchiest of the senses.
the most survivable.
Yeah.
Or easily.
At some point,
I
we're
should
just
say-
doing the comedy death ray would you rather thing where everyone picks the worst thing on purpose.
I shouldn't say survival. I should say the least impactful on my current life.
I'm just
Plenty
trying to
of
think
people out
of
there.
how it would at least impact me interestingly. Like sight or sound would be just a huge bummer
Yeah.
because then it's like, oh, I'm just functionally.
It'd be tough to do your job.
Like
Yes.
taste might be all right as like a
Yeah.
a good diet move.
Sure.
We were just having this conversation in the car.
Yeah,
on the way here,
this is the
actually.
second time
So
today
weird.
that Vinny and I have discussed this exact
Like
topic.
losing taste. and
Yeah,
stuff.
like if spinach tasted like pizza,
You eat anything. It didn't
I
matter.
eat anything. Yeah, then I'd be eating dog shit all the time.
just don't smell it.
Yeah,
Now you're
just
going
don't
to go for
smell it.
2. You're just take
Yeah, take it all
Smell
away,
and-
man.
smell and taste. Don't need either of them.
Exactly.
Steve Hall from Labrador, Canada writes in to ask. All right, that's it for news.
Wow. Wrap that one
Not a
up.
lot. Again,
No.
not a lot happening in news.
Can I say it?
What?
Emails. Oh wait, new releases?
Brad, you're the worst
every
at everything.
every single week I forget about new releases. Every
I-
time you're like, all right, that's it for news. I'm like, oh, sweet emails. I love this part of the show.
I was sold when you said emails.
Always forget about.
I got on board.
I was excited. Like,
You're like,
all
oh,
right.
emails.
Emails.
You saw me just fucking
Hey,
dark cloud. Just God damn.
Oh no, yeah.
Well, I couldn't tell if that was wrong or just because you just don't like Brad.
Both.
Probably some of both.
Both.
New releases always feels like such housekeeping to me.
But we
Well,
got
this
to know.
time of year,
This is
the
it.
real
This
news.
is the meat and potatoes, baby.
This is when we need it.
Such
We need to
as
start just giving gut reaction reviews to all these games. Just throw
There
out
you
some
go.
numbers, people.
Resident Evil 5 for the PC.
4 stars.
4 stars.
Because it's
Go
Resident
4.
Evil 5.
Batman Arkham Asylum for the PC.
9.7.
That gets an X for physics.
That's right. That's got the physics in it. So when you kick cans, they bounce around realistically.
That's
Yes.
the version to play.
I believe all versions have speed tree support, so that's good.
Hell yeah.
Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. I am deeply, deeply disturbed by all of the marketing that Nintendo's
I
been
know.
sending out for this
I
game,
know.
because all it talks about is internal and things happening internally. And I'm a bad person. I'm willing to admit that.
You are.
And
You
so
are.
that's part of it. But still, every time I see that, I kind of just.
There you go. That's the question.
What?
If you had to lose any sense, which would it be?
If I had to lose any sense, smell. Easy. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right?
Indeed, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what we
That's-
all said.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Several.
Especially sitting next to Andy McCurdy, our software engineer, that'd actually be probably a benefit.
You saying Andy Smelly?
He makes noises.
He's a man.
Yeah, he's a man.
We actually got several emails from people who in fact have no sense of smell. And
Only this show.
what's that?
Only this show.
I have very bad smell.
That we have an audience. Well, we have a staff with multiple people with
Colorblindness.
colorblindness. For God's sakes,
That's a high percentage of the population.
Did Vinny tell you about my attempts to try and find colorblind fixers?
That was fun.
It was horrible. It was the worst experience I've ever had as a designer, sitting with Vinny and trying to
Is
figure
this
out
like the
Vinny's
same?
site.
Is this like the same? Is it not with this one?
What does this one look like? Does
No,
this
just
look
point
like
to that
red?
one.
Yeah, no, Vinny. Don't look at that side. Don't look at that side,
Oh,
Vinny.
that's terrible.
including the lack of smell or the anosmiacs
Whoa.
is the word. I guess Jackie Jinx from Giant Bomb, one of the users of the site, is a anosmiac. And she claims to have experienced the scenario that we described here on the show of having shit smeared underneath your nose. And that she
Now
did
that
not
is
smell-
shared publicly.
She emailed it, hey, to bombcast@giantbomb.com, the email address that you email when you want
doesn't
things
say,
read on the internet.
At the bottom, please leave my name off of this.
Write her back. Ask me what she. Ask
No,
her,
you know
ask her
what
what she's doing this weekend.
She puts
I
her
just had
name.
A great idea.
Her name is on here twice.
Oh,
You know what
So
she's doing? She's making lists.
she is.
She made like 10 lists over the weekend.
I made like 4 lists.
Really?
Yeah.
So she says nothing. And everyone that has emailed in about the sense of smell says that it they still have a sense of taste.
That's crazy.
So it
That
does
blows
not-
my mind.
It does not destroy that. I imagine it enhances it, but these are people that from birth had no sense of smell, so they have nothing to compare against.
Crazy. Ad
So they don't
nausea.
know like how. And you lack one sense, your other senses come back stronger.
That's right. Don't put poop in her mouth.
Yeah.
That'll.
I got poop in my
That,
mouth
you know what?
once.
General rule of thumb.
They'll put poop.
It doesn't matter if you can smell or not. I'm just going to put that out there, folks. If you're wondering, don't put poop in
It
people's
tastes
mouths.
like shit.
I felt.
Oh!
I feel like I need to like share my shit story, which I probably already have, but just
Okay. Was it human poop?
no, it was
Oh,
cow.
well, that's
I fell face first into cow shit
Yeah.
after getting hit on the forehead with a baseball.
nice.
Oh, that's like comedy. That's like
Yeah,
in
no,
movies.
I'm sure it looked awesome because it just like the ball was hit, the cover came off the ball, so
Oh,
I
wow.
looked at the cover.
Wait, was this a scene from The Sandlot?
Like practically, the ball hit me square on the forehead.
Oh.
I fell face first into the field, face first into cow shit. It was crusted over on top, but inside was the creamy center.
Oh yeah, that's how it works with a good cow pie.
Yeah. So,
Like you look at it and you think, oh, that's just gonna be hard. You can just pick that up, but then you.
so that is my Billy Madison. All the cool kids are pissing their pants to make everything okay with the Jackie Jenks situation.
So
Yeah.
she seemed okay about it.
Everyone who's cool has had shit on their face, guys.
All right, I'm going to wrap up on this amazing email from
That's how I pick up girls too.
Sam Cottingham in England.
I'm sorry. Fucking disgusting myself.
Gonna
Well,
faint.
apparently it's not just you that you're disgusting. As according to Samuel, during the email section of last week's Giant Bobcast, we were talking about this census thing. I was talking about being without sense of feeling, and we started talking about the pros and cons of the lack of sense, the idea of putting your foot on the ground and having no idea where to stop pushing downwards and therefore crushing the bones in your foot, and the other grotesque thoughts you guys put in my head in reply to the question. It was too much for his empty stomach to handle, and he collapsed. Please bear in mind that he was listening to the Bombcast on the way to school on the train, and he fainted just as the train was coming into a stop, and he fell backwards, presumably into other people waiting to get out at the stop behind me. To add the embarrassment, he stalled the train for a couple minutes, and as he regained consciousness, and the kind people helped him out. So
I'm
we
sorry.
have the capacity to make people lose consciousness with our very words.
I am sure Jeff's story about eating cow poop. So if you're conscious at this part, we're sorry. Yeah. If you come back to.
Just doing our part. I guess.
Better off if you couldn't hear all of this. That is my favorite email that we've ever been sent.
That's pretty good.
Well, it sounds like most of the cast here thinks that it's a singular mento, multiple
I think you
mentos.
got 50-50. I'm with
Oh,
you.
50, you're with me?
No,
Okay,
I am also with you guys.
Okay, so
Jeff is the
Jeff,
odd man
you're
out.
the odd man out. You think it's mento, mentos? I think it's so there you go. By overwhelming majority rule, we've called it. They are always Mentos.
I'm leaving.
This podcast is over. Yeah, everyone's got to go now. Vinny, Brad, Jeff, thank you guys for podcasting and
Oh, I haven't seen that
And-
guy in a while.
thanks the crowd. Thank you to the studio audience who was here, oddly silent for the whole podcast.
They're a good crowd.
We it's not a good room for a crowd.
The applause sign was broken.
So yeah, come back next week and guess what we'll have?
A game to talk about?
More Bombcast.
Fallout 3.